name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to another episode of my Sunday sewing catch-up, and we are on episode 14. So welcome if you are new. I always do a Sunday sewing catch-up, which is a round of all the things that I've been sewing or preparing or really enjoying in terms of sewing and crafting. And I always upload those on a Sunday, various times, just depends on when I get around to editing the videos. So I'm back today sharing everything that I've been getting up to this week. So before I dive into episode 14, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. And I am wearing a Tilly and the Buttons Lotta dress made in this gorgeous cotton jersey. Now I can't remember where I got it from, but if I remember, I'll put a little image in that tells you where I got it from. It's on this gorgeous sort of sage green background, and it's got all polka dots all over it. And then if I stand up, you can see it's got the elastic channel across the tummy. And then this is the midi, no, it's not the midi, this is the knee length version. So it stops at my knees. Super comfortable to wear. The weather is still quite warm at the moment, which is why I've got this on. And if you watched last week's episode, I used an offcut of this. So I had some scrap of this fabric left over, and I used it to sew up a pair of acacia pants, which is a Megan Nielsen pattern that's free if you subscribe to their newsletter. So I have got matching knickers on with this dress today, which has amused me this week when I've managed to wear matching to the knickers that I've made. So that is what I'm wearing. As always, I'll put images in of all the things that I talk about, and wherever possible, if I don't have the pattern to hand, I will put in some line drawings so that you can see what the pattern looks like as well. I love my Lotta dresses. They're super comfortable. There's enough room in them, but I like the fact that you've got that elastic across the tummy because it brings it in ever so slightly. And then this version has got grown on sleeves. There is an option to add bracelet sleeves, but I haven't done that with this dress. I don't think I've done that with any of my Lotta dresses because I've talked about this before, and I normally end up just rolling my sleeves up. So as well as it being just a busy week with work anyway, we've also had a couple of things going on this weekend that has meant it's been even busier. So the first one was Ruby's birthday. So she turned 13 yesterday, which was really exciting. So officially a teenager. She had a really lovely birthday. We spent the time at home as a family, but also visiting lots of different people. And in a few weeks, we're going to be celebrating with all of her friends too, which is exciting. We're off to do an escape room, which I've never done before. Neither has she, but she's always wanted to do one. So I'll report back when we've done the escape room. I'm not quite sure what to expect. Do let me know in the comments if you have ever done an escape room. She's very, very excited. I think she's watched lots of videos on escape rooms and things. We had all of the birthday celebrations yesterday and visiting lots of different people coming to visit us. She requested a birthday cake. My girls always request birthday cakes each year. So I was up really late on Friday decorating that. And then the other thing that's made this weekend super busy is I got home from work on Friday and my youngest daughter Lola had hurt her ankle at school. Didn't know anything about it until I got home and saw her ankle, and it was very swollen and very bruised. So I took the decision to go and take her to A&E, so our local hospital, just to get it checked over, and they did an x-ray, and it turns out she's fractured her ankle, so she's now got a boot on her foot. She's hobbling about on crutches, and on Monday I've got the hospital calling me again to see if they need to change the treatment. Otherwise it will be that she keeps the boot on for a couple of weeks, and then we'll go back and have another x-ray and then just review it from there. But currently she is on rest, so she's just sat on the sofa at the moment with her leg elevated. I was really impressed actually with the hospital. We weren't in there for too long, it was just a couple of hours. Everybody that we came across was really helpful, and she must have a high pain threshold because she hurt her foot in the morning at school, managed to sort of hobble about on it at school, walked all the way home, and it's like a half an hour journey for her to walk home without complaining. She said it was a little bit sore, but it is really swollen and incredibly bruised, so it must really hurt her. So we're topping her up with Calpol and Nurofen just to make sure that the pain isn't too bad for her. So when we got back from the hospital, I then sort of helped her have a bath and put her to bed. And then I got on with wrapping presents and baking a birthday cake and decorating that. So it meant a very late night on Friday, and then Lola woke up a couple of times in the night because her foot was really hurting her, so I had to give her some medicine in the night. So I think I had about 4 hours sleep on Friday night. So yesterday I just felt really groggy and really tired, so I ended up having quite an early night last night. So we've had quite a hectic weekend already. Back to work tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. I do really enjoy my job. And then I'm going to have to contact Lola's school and just check around the health and safety of her being at school with a boot on her foot and using crutches. So I have really enjoyed also this weekend doing some sewing. I think it's been really important for me because it's been super duper busy and we've had quite a lot of stressful things going on. So I have managed to do a little bit of sewing. I sewed some trousers in the week, and then last night I sat down and sewed some Yanta overalls, which I'll share with you in a second. So the first thing that I've sewn this week, if I grab them, I've shared this fabric before, but it's this amazing sort of canvas. It's quite a lightweight canvas fabric that I got from Sew Me Sunshine. If I hold it up at the front, actually, it's got all these animals all over it, all the way around the back. It's so fun, like elephants, there's a lion, there's flamingos, there's a giraffe. Yeah, it's just really, really fun fabric. And I wasn't sure what to turn it into, but I'd originally wanted to turn it into some trousers. So I was torn between two patterns. The Anna Allen Pomono pants, which has got the elasticated waistband, and then the Nina Lee Portobello trousers, which are quite a high-waisted trouser, and it's got an invisible zip at the back. And the Portobello trousers has got pockets, but the Pomono pants, they've got patch pockets that you stitch onto the back. And in the end, I went for the Pomono pants, and the main reason for going for this pattern over the Portobello trousers was the fact that the trouser pattern doesn't have an outside seam. So it meant that when I was cutting out the fabric and also when I was sewing it up, the image isn't as distorted as it would have been if I was using the Portobello trousers, which has got the outside seam and the inside seam. This one has just got the front seam and the back seam, and then it's got the inside leg seam. And I was just really worried about there being too many seam lines and it distorting the pattern, because I didn't have enough of this fabric to pattern match. And you'll be able to see that on the pockets, but actually I quite like the fact that the pockets are not pattern matched, because it makes the feature sort of stand out a little bit. And I went for an elephant on one of the pockets, so there is the patch pocket elephant. And then on the other one, it was like the bodies of different animals. So we've got a flamingo. Not quite sure what that one was. Don't know if that, oh no, that's the giraffe. I'm not quite sure what that one was. Anyway, I'm really pleased with these. They're going to be really comfortable because they've got that elasticated waist. I have got the pockets where I've got the patch pockets on the back. And I'm just really delighted that that animal print and all the pictures of the animals wasn't too distorted. This is probably my favourite bit, if I can turn it around to show you. But I've got a giraffe there, and I just love that I've got all of the giraffe on that trouser leg and it's not been distorted at all. And it's the same for the zebra. So wherever possible, I've tried to keep the whole image of the animal. So I'm really, really delighted. I've got a couple of plain t-shirts that I think will go perfectly with these trousers. And I think they're going to be a really fun thing to wear to school as well. I think the children are going to absolutely love spotting all the different animals, because they do on all the other animal print garments that I've got in my wardrobe currently. And they're just a little bit different for a pair of trousers. So I'm really excited to wear those. And I'm really pleased. They sewed up fairly quickly as well, actually, because you don't have a separate waistband. You turn the top of the trousers down to create the waistband casing, and then you stitch it all the way around. So it didn't take too long to sew up either. So it was the perfect project really for during the week when I only had short bursts of time to sew them up. So I sewed these up across the week, across a couple of evenings. I haven't worn them yet, but I'm planning to wear them to school next week because the weather's meant to be a little bit cooler. I'm actually planning to sew up some more of the Anna Allen Pomono pants because I think they'll be great for my autumn wardrobe, and because they're elasticated waist, I think they'll be super comfortable for school as well. And I've just ordered some fabric from Rainbow Fabrics because they've just dropped their autumn sort of fabric collection. So I've ordered some twill, and some corduroy, which I'm planning to turn into some more kimono pants. And I've gone for plain fabrics because I've got a lot of tops and jumpers and t-shirts that have got pattern all over them, so they'll be able to go with the plain trousers that I sew up once the fabric arrives. They've still got quite a few fabrics left in their collection, so I'll link them down below so you can go and check out the autumn fabric collection that they've just released as well. And then the second thing that I've sewn up, I sewed this up last night, and it was a welcome distraction from all the different things that we've had going on this weekend. And I talked about sewing this up, or at least getting it cut out, in my last Sunday sewing catch up. And it was using some black corduroy fabric that I got as a Christmas present. So I'm really pleased that I've managed to turn it into something, and it's not a fabric that's just going to sit in my stash for years and years. So I'm just going to grab it so I can show you. I think I will actually put these on because I need your advice with a patch that I want to sew on, but I haven't decided where to place the patch. And I've actually asked over on my Instagram stories today for some advice about where to put the patch. So I'll pop them on so you can see what they look like, and I'll be back in a second. So I've popped a t-shirt on, I'll be putting the dungarees on in a second, but I just wanted to show you the label that I decided to stick on the back, or I've sewn onto the back of the dungarees. And it's a Little Rosy Cheeks label that says Love Yourself Revolution. And I've just sewn that onto the back part. So there's the straps and there's the back part of it. I just thought that was a nice fun little detail. So I'm just going to pop the dungarees on, and then I'm going to ask your advice about this little patch that I've got. Okay, so I have sewn up, and I'm so pleased because I think these are going to go with so many things in my wardrobe. But I used the Helen's Closet Yanta Overalls pattern, and I've sewn this up before, and I absolutely love it as a pattern. It's a really lovely construction. There's lots of lovely top stitching details. There's loads of pockets. So I've got the bib pocket, and I've got patch pockets here, and then I've got patch pockets on my bottom as well at the back. They are really super comfortable. There's enough room in them. I didn't need to put a side zip in. There is an option to put a side zip, but I didn't need to use the side zip. And they're just really, really comfortable. So I have got this rainbow patch that I got from Abakhan Fabrics. It's a really beautiful patch, and I want to put it onto the dungarees somewhere. Now, I asked over on Instagram whether I should put the patch on the pocket here. So it's going to be really difficult to show you, but there's actually a bib pocket there. So I don't know whether to put it there, and that's what it would look like, or whether I put it at the bottom of the bib pocket, or do I put it on the front pockets here. I don't want it on the back because I've got that label already on the back. So I could pop it on the pocket here, or put it at the bottom, or do I put it on the other pocket or at the bottom? So if you've got any advice for me about where I should put this lovely rainbow patch, please let me know, because I have no idea where to put it. But it's really fun, and I would really like to just add that to somewhere on the dungarees, but I want to have it at the front because I've already got that label at the back, which you can see. So I want to have this patch at the front. So please let me know in the comments below where you would add it. My husband thinks it would look better on the pocket here. I'm sort of more torn, or I feel like it would look better there, but I don't know. So let me know. I don't know if I put it there, it's too close to like brightly coloured t-shirts there, and that's why it would look better on the pocket. I'm very indecisive about where to put it, but I'm desperate to use it, so I'd love your help on where to put that. Anyway, these are the overalls. I absolutely love them. They're super duper comfortable. So one thing that I did change with the pattern is you're supposed to do buttonholes on the straps and then buttons here. I always get a little bit worried about doing buttonholes on corduroy. Plus, I prefer my dungarees to have buckles. So that's what I've chosen to do. So I've just bought a buckles set, put the button on, and there they are. The straps are just threaded through. So that's the only change that I made to this pattern. I've just added buckles instead of a button. But I've got that patch pocket here and on the front and the back, like I said. It's got that lovely scoop on the side there and there. They're quite roomy. There's lots of room in the back, and there's lots of room in the front too, and they're super comfortable. And then these go all the way to my ankle, and that's what the trousers look like too. They're really, really comfortable, and I think these are going to be brilliant for work, but also for my autumn wardrobe. I think they're just going to be a really versatile piece, and particularly because they're in a black. So lots of my t-shirts like this. I've got an Elmer t-shirt, a Very Hungry Caterpillar t-shirt. They're going to go perfectly with these corduroy Yanta overalls. So I'm really pleased that I've got a black pair, because I've needed a black pair for absolutely ages. And actually they were really fun to sew up, and they came together fairly quickly too. So those are all the things. Oh no, another thing that I've been sewing up actually. I was going to say that's everything that I've been sewing up, but it's not. So I shared this fabric, when did I share it? Months ago, and I got this as part of my fabric ambassador role with Abakhan fabric. So it's a cotton poplin in this rainbow like watercolour effect. And I was originally going to turn into the Nina Lee Bakerloo blouse and dress. I was going to do the dress version in this fabric. But then recently I bought the Bella Loves Patterns floor dress, F-L-O-R, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, dress and top, which is a sleeveless dress and top that's got these gorgeous ruffles that go all the way from the front all the way down the back. So I actually have decided, I've changed my mind, and I'm using this amazing fabric to sew up the floor dress by Bella Loves Patterns, and I have started sewing it up. So I've constructed the bodice basically. So I've got the front, which sort of wraps over, and then you've got this amazing ruffle that goes all the way down the front on both sides, and then it goes all the way down, if I hold it up, all the way down the back of the dress as well. And then it's a wrap, so you've got these front pieces that wrap over, and then there will be a skirt with a ruffle on as well, and there's also a waistband, and then you can tie it at the front. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out so far. I think it's going to be quite a fun dress. It's incredibly bright because of that rainbow watercolour print fabric, but I think it's just going to be really, really fun. The reason I went for this pattern is I feel like it's going to be quite a versatile dress to have in my wardrobe. I feel like I'll be able to wear it layered up for autumn, and it will add a great big splash of colour to my autumn wardrobe. But I also feel like it's going to be a dress that I can wear in the spring and even in the summertime too. I'll just have to make sure when it's colder that I layer it up, either with a long sleeve top or a jumper underneath with this over the top. And I think it's just going to look super cute. I'm very, very excited about getting it finished. And all those ruffles already, I just absolutely love them. I think it's just really, really fun. So I've sewn up the bodice completely. I'm just currently attaching the binding to the armholes. So this one I've attached the binding, I just need to now stitch it onto the inside, and then the armhole will be finished. And then I've got to construct the waistband, the ties and the skirt, and the skirt's got pockets as well, which I'm very excited about. So that's going to be something that I get sewn up over the next week or so. It depends how much time I get for sewing this week, but I'm very excited about getting that finished. So that is all of the sewing that I've been getting up to recently. And then today I spent some time sorting through my fabric scrap store. So normally it's in here, and then I've got a set of drawers by my sewing machine where I put all of my fabric scraps. And then last week I talked about 2 projects that I'm really keen to get started on, that are going to use up all of my scraps, or most of my scraps. So the first one is a patchwork inspired dress using lots of squares of different coloured fabrics, and I want to sort of use all of the I'm going to cut loads of little squares and patchwork them together, and then what I'm going to do with the length of fabric that I create from all of those offcuts is hopefully turn it into probably the Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress with a button down back, because I think that's a dress that I really, really love. Or I could use the Tilly and the Buttons Lotta dress. I basically want a pattern that's not going to create too many seam lines, and the colour sort of palette for this dress, I've taken inspiration from the children's storybook Elmer, who is a patchwork elephant, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to have that story themed book, just using all the offcuts. So in this Sainsbury's carrier bag, I have been collecting all of the offcuts of fabric that I've got, in all the different colours that match up with the story Elmer. So I've got reds and blues and blacks and whites and greens and oranges and yellows and all the colours that I would need. But it's all different patterns of fabrics too, so they're not all plain fabrics. So I'm going to cut out all the squares and then have a play around with placing all the squares to see which ones look right together. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out, because it's going to be not only a mixture of colours, but it's also going to be a mixture of patterns and prints. So I'm interested to see how they all look together and what the overall impact of that dress will be, and whether it will have any resemblance towards Elmer the Patchwork Elephant. We'll see. I'm really looking forward to trying this out and using up this massive bag of scraps that I've got. And then the other thing that I wanted to do with my scraps was turn them into a rainbow fish inspired dress. And for that, I'm going to try and do some scalloped sort of patchwork. Somebody recommended on the last Sunday Sewing catch up a tool that will help me with the scalloped edges. So I haven't looked into that yet, but I'm going to look into that tool to see if it helps me achieve the scalloped edge, because I think that will help me to achieve the fish scale look that I'm going for the rainbow fish. But in this lovely sewing themed bag, I've got all of the fabrics that are rainbow fish coloured. So the story of the rainbow fish has some sparkly scales, and they really struggle to part with them. Another little fish asks for one of the sparkly scales, and the rainbow fish really struggles to part with them, but eventually they get some advice and they do learn to share. And the rainbow fish is predominantly sort of blues, greens, purples, like pastel colours, and then obviously the sparkly scales as well. So I've put all of like the sort of rainbow fish coloured fabrics together. So I've got greens, there's a little bit of yellow, I've got some blues, there's a little bit of white, and again it's mixed print, so I'm not sure how it's going to work together, but I'm really excited about trying it. And then I've got a couple of sparkly fabrics. I've got this that I used for an Elsa inspired sort of indigo dress at Christmas, and it's ice blue and it's got all the sparkles. And then I've got some of this gorgeous sort of sparkly sequined rose gold fabric that I got from, I think I got this from Sew Me Sunshine. So I'm planning to use this and this fabric for the sparkly shiny scales of the rainbow fish. And then again, I'm going to patchwork all of these pieces and then create those scalloped edges on the dress. And this is going to become a dress as well. I'm not quite sure which pattern yet, but I'll get all my patterns out and see which one suits. These are going to be ongoing projects. They're not going to be projects that I get sewn up anytime soon, because I think they're going to take quite a while, especially sort of ironing all the scraps and cutting out the squares to begin with. I think that's going to take quite a while to get going with that. But I'm very excited about a project that is going to combine all of the fabric scraps and hopefully have a little bit of a nod towards Elmer the Elephant and the rainbow fish. So I will keep you updated once I have started trying to put all of those fabrics together. I just thought to let you know I have spent some time sorting out all of my scraps, which also meant that I have cut out some more knickers. So I've got some knickers to show you. They're not finished, I haven't started sewing them yet. So I have cut out the Tilly and the Buttons Iris knickers, and I have gone for the low leg and the, let me get the pattern, I've gone for the mid waistline and low leg opening for the Iris knickers, which is this middle version here. I shared this pattern last week. It's the new pattern from Tilly and the Buttons, and it comes in 2 size bandings. I'll get the sizing in a second for you, but I've had some more offcuts of jersey fabric, but also some lycra fabric. So I'm going to see what the knickers turn out like using this lycra fabric that I got from Hey So Sister that I used to make some leggings, because the leggings are really lovely to wear against my skin. And then I've just got some of this sort of cotton jersey, which is an offcut from some baby clothes that I made for a friend, and I had enough to cut out the knickers for that. So I've got 2 pairs of these to try. Now, one thing to say with the Iris knickers is you have to cut them on the fold, which meant it was a bit tricky with some of my scrap fabrics to try and fit the pattern on, because you have to make sure that you've got enough to cut it on the fold. What I found with the acacia pants is when I tried the Iris pants on a couple of my offcuts of fabric, I couldn't get it to work because I didn't have enough for it to be on the fold. But I did manage to then use the acacia pants to fit onto that offcut of fabric. So my current favourite pattern for sewing up knickers is definitely the Megan Nielsen acacia knickers, mainly because I've found that that's worked with all the scrap, like offcuts of scrap fabric that I've got. but it's also a free pattern, which I think is just amazing. So let me just get the sizing of this pattern for you. So it comes in sizes UK 6 to 24 or UK 16 to 34. For a UK 6, it's a bust measurement of 30 inches, waist measurement of 24 inches and a hip measurement of 33 inches. And then for a UK 34, it's a 56-inch high bust, 60-inch bust, 53-inch waist and a 61-inch hip. I have cut out the size Tilly and the Buttons 3, which is a UK 10 or a US 6. And that goes off a waist 28 inches and a hip 37 inches. So I'm interested to see how it fits around the hip, because my hips are actually a 35-inch hip. So we'll see if they come up a little bit baggy on that area. I'll let you know next week once I've got around to sewing these up. So these are some of the fabrics that I'm using for my acacia pants. So these have got cheetahs all over them. I'm very excited about that. And then I've got some Love Heart ones. Again, I'm going to try the Lycra just to see what they're like for knickers. This was a dress that I made for my daughter, but doesn't fit her anymore, so I've cut it up to make myself some knickers. This was another old dress of my daughter's, which I'm using for knickers. And then I just had some of this fabric left over from a jumper that I sewed up. And this fabric was from Felicity Fabrics. So lots and lots of pairs of knickers. They're so comfortable. I've really enjoyed wearing the acacia knickers this week. They've been super comfortable. So I'm looking forward to having some more knickers made by me that hopefully some of them will be able to match either my jumpers or some of my dresses too. It's been quite fun knowing that I'm wearing knickers that match the dress that I'm wearing as well. So that leads me really nicely on to sharing with you some of the underwear elastic that I ordered from Tilly and the Buttons. So it did come. So I've got a couple of pieces of just fold over elastic, which I haven't used yet. So I'm looking forward to getting going using some of this. Now, I didn't realise I'd only ordered half a metre, but hopefully that will be enough for the waist of the knickers, if not the leg opening of the knickers. But this is fold over elastic, so it's just in black. I don't know if you're able to see, but there's an ever so faint line that runs down the middle, and that just helps you to literally fold the elastic over around the seam, and then you just top stitch it onto your knickers. So I got it in black, and then I've got it in this gorgeous sort of lilac colour, and then I've got it in yellow and a sort of mint green. So I'm looking forward to using that, because I think they're going to go with some of the acacia knickers that I've got cut out. And then I ordered some of this beautiful lace, which I think I might go back and order some more of, in this blue colour. So it is a stretch lace, and I'm looking forward to trying that on the top of some of the iris knickers as well. It's so pretty. They've got some more lace and some more knicker elastic over on their website, because they've just had a restock over on Tilly and the Buttons website. So if you are interested in looking for some, they've got different colours, and then they've got some different colours of lace as well. So I might go and get, I think there might have been a pink one, so I might go back and get some. And then I was hoping to show you in this video the lace that I ordered from the new craft house, but it hasn't arrived in time. It turns out when I ordered the lace, one of the lace fabrics that I ordered was actually out of stock. So they had to refund me that, and then they emailed just to check if I still wanted the other lace fabric. So I'm still waiting for that to arrive, but hopefully that will arrive in the next couple of days so I can get some lace underwear sewn up too. So next I've got some fabric to share with you. Now this is part of my fabric ambassador role with Abakhan Fabrics. So they did send me a gift voucher to use to put towards some fabric. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. One piece of Liberty fabric to share with you, and then the others are all the same type of fabric, and they're all plain fabrics too. So let's start with the Liberty print. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is their Tana lawn, which is sort of like a cotton lawn. It's really lovely and silky and soft. It's in this gorgeous flower pattern, flower print. So let me open it up. Now Liberty fabrics generally are quite narrow. And I only got a metre of this because I'm going to turn it into a top. I'm not sure which pattern I'm going to use for it yet, but I'm definitely going to turn it into some kind of blouse. But that is the print. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so pretty. This is more sort of summer spring in terms of the print, but with a cardigan on I think I'd still be able to wear it in the autumn, and I think this print would go really nicely underneath my dungarees actually. So I'm not sure what pattern to use for it yet, and I only got a metre and it's quite narrow. So if anyone's got any top tips, please let me know. It's got a little bit of drape, a little bit of movement. I just love that floral print, and then it's on a white background as well. So that was the first one that I chose. And then the rest are all cotton jerseys because I need some long sleeve tops. Although I don't particularly enjoy wearing long sleeve tops, I know that as we get into the colder months, I'm going to need some layering pieces, especially for when I'm at work, because I'm an early years teacher, so it means that some of my time is spent inside, but a lot of my day is also spent outside. So I know that I'm going to need some long sleeve tops on as an extra layer to keep myself warm when I'm out and about with the children. So I've chosen some plain cotton fabrics, and I think I'm going to use the Tilly and the Buttons Freya pattern because that's a pattern that I know fits me well. It's a pattern that I'm really comfortable wearing too. And if I want it to be a little bit roomier, then I can just size up with that pattern. And I'm also trying to make sure that I use patterns that I've already got rather than buying new patterns because I've got so many. So the first one is like this mustard print. And yeah, it's just a plain cotton jersey, and I'm just going to turn it into a long sleeve top, which I can then wear underneath my dungarees or underneath like blouses if I want an extra layering piece, or underneath some of my dresses too. So that's the first one. Then I've got just a navy colour, and they've all been pre-washed. It's going to be difficult to show you, but that's just a navy cotton jersey. And then I went for a grey cotton jersey too, because I think they're going to be the perfect sort of layering colours. They're going to go with a lot of things that I've got in my wardrobe already. So this is just a grey cotton jersey. So they've all been pre-washed, and I'm hoping I'll get some time this week to cut them out. And they're all going to become the Tilly and the Buttons Freya jumpers, because I know that they're great layering pieces. So that was all the fabrics from Abakhan Fabrics. And then, like I said, I have ordered some fabrics from Rainbow Fabrics, some plain ones, because that is something that I know, although I am drawn to bright colourful things like this, I know that I do need some plain sort of layering or base pieces in my wardrobe to make the most of all the other pieces that I have sewn up. So those are sort of my autumn plans, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Sewing up some plain tops and also some plain trousers. And I'm probably going to sew up another pair of the Yanta overalls too, just because this is going to be a staple in my work wardrobe. It's really, really comfortable, and I can layer up with a long sleeve top underneath as well. And I know that the Yanta overalls goes really well with my Billy jumpers. And they're also great for when it's a little bit chilly too. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you was a pattern. Now, I'm not sure if it's a new pattern, but it's definitely a new pattern to me. It popped up over on Instagram, and then I had a look at the hashtag and I saw quite a few sort of variations of this pattern. It is a bra pattern, so it's sort of following in the underwear sewing sort of theme that I've been talking about in this video. So it's by Waves and Wild, and it's called the Superstar Bra. It comes in sizes extra, extra small to a 5XL, and it also comes in different cup options, so A to H. I have bought this pattern. It's currently $6 over on their website. It's aimed at beginners plus, and it's sort of a crossover front bra, and then it's also got a crossover detail on the back as well. So it's a lounge bra, crossover back. There's 3 band options: regular, cropped, and then an elastic band option. They recommend light to medium weight knit fabrics with a 50% stretch and strong return. For example, cotton lycra jersey, athletic polyester lycra jersey. I really like the fact it comes in a range of sizes. I like that it comes in a range of cup sizes as well. I like that it is non-padded and it isn't wired. And I think this is going to be a pattern that I can use not just for myself, but also for my daughters, Ruby and Lola. I've talked about this before, but Ruby's got quite a lot of sensory sensitivities around clothing, and particularly around anything that has to touch her skin really closely. So I'm quite excited about having a go at making a couple of these Superstar bras for her. And within the instructions, there are lots of top tips on making sure that the Superstar bra fits you really well, from measuring your body properly to any little tweaks that you might need to make to the pattern once you've sewn it up. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go, not just for myself, but also for Ruby and Lola. So in terms of sizes, for an extra small, it's a 28-inch to 30-inch high bust measurement. And then for a 5XL, it's a 49 to 52-inch high bust measurement. And like I said, it comes in cup sizes A to H. And within the instructions, they explain about how you work out which cup size you need to sew up as well. So I'm really looking forward to giving that one a try. I'm not sure when I'll get that sort of tackled. Definitely not in the next week. I need to print off the pattern, stick it together, and then have a go at measuring myself and also my girls, and then I'll give it a try. So I think that's going to be something that I get sewn up in the next couple of weeks, perhaps leaving it until October half term, which is in 4 weeks time. So the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is a new sewing challenge that I've seen over on Instagram, and it's run by the lovely Camilla, who is she_sew_fabulous over on Instagram, and also the lovely Corinne, who is Sewing for Self-Care over on Instagram. I'll link their Instagram pages in the description below so you can go and give them a follow and check out a little bit more about this challenge. But it is something that's aimed around October and sewing something that is autumnal or Halloween themed. So there's a hashtag that's sew October. And the idea behind the challenge is that you sew or style a me-made item inspired by October. So like I said, it can be Halloween or autumn themed. It can be an accessory or a craft project, and it doesn't have to be a full me-made outfit. It could be one thing within your sort of image that you're sharing. It could be that you've just got a headband or a scrunchie that you want to share that's along the sort of autumn Halloween theme. And there are prizes as well. So to enter, you need to share an image over on Instagram. You need to make sure that you use the hashtag that's sew October, and then you also need to make sure that you tag Camilla and Corinne. So tag at she_sew_fabulous and also at Sewing for Self-Care. And there are lots of lovely prizes too. It sounds like something quite easy to get involved with. You don't have to sew anything brand new. It can be something that you've already got in your wardrobe that you're getting out. And just having a go at styling, thinking about autumn, Halloween and sort of October, when we start to think about that sort of cozy sewing and cozy garments if you are somewhere where the weather starts to get a little bit chilly in October. So I'm definitely going to be thinking about what I've already got in my wardrobe and what I can style using the hashtag that's sew October. So I just thought I'd let you know about that sewing challenge. It sounds like it's something that I can definitely get on board with, and it sounds like something that's quite an easy sort of challenge to get on board with as well. You can also enter as many times as you want, and it's running between the 1st of October and the 31st of October. So I think that is everything that I wanted to share with you this week. I haven't got a massive amount of things that I wanted to talk about, and that's mainly because I've had quite a sort of hectic end to the week with my daughter hurting herself, and also Ruby's 13th birthday too. In terms of sewing next week, I've got lots of projects on the go. So I want to finish off sewing my Bella Loves floor dress. I'm going to sew up some acacia pants, and I'm going to give the iris knickers pattern a try as well. And I may get some projects cut out, but I think that's about it. Next Saturday I'm really excited because I'm going to the new craft house for the bra making workshop. So in my next Sunday sewing catch up, I'll be able to let you know how I got on with the sewing workshop. I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to going there. I'm looking forward to meeting some more sewing people, and I'm really looking forward to learning some new skills, especially around bra making. So I'll let you know how I get on there. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, it'd be really amazing if you could hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye.